All right, so let's move on to the Star Wars games involved in the original trilogy. One that's out right now that just came out was Battlefront, which is on Xbox, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and I think PC too, right?
PC, yep.
So first-person shooter. The thing I don't like about it already.
Third person.
Oh, there is? You can switch to third person? Okay, the first thing I don't like about it, there's not really a campaign. There is a little bit of a campaign, but it's mostly online, right?
Campaign, yeah.
Come on, man. I want a campaign.
EA, man. They'll sell it to you as DLC later on, and you'll buy it.
I will. I already freaking bought the game. But it's very good. I played the beta before it came out, which I was like, they did the Battle of Hoth, and it's just like amazing. You can drive an AT-AT.
Except you can't win as the rebels, but other than
they
that...
fixed that. They fixed that.
Oh, they bounced it out.
Yeah, they bounced it back out. But there's some awesome clips online where someone's like they play like this awesome da-na-na-na music, like this guy's running up a hill, and he's like, about to kill somebody, and then just the AT-AT just and he's just like, oh, it's just awesome. You have those moments in those kind of games where the AT-AT just smashes you, or you could take a TIE fighter and crash it into an AT-AT and try to blow it up that way, or in this case it would be an X-Wing. But it's an amazing game. It definitely feels like Star Wars. You're talking about all the music and how it builds up. I don't know how they do it in the game, but it feels like the music is timed to like what you're doing, even though it's not, but it just feels like it. The blaster sounds, the lightsaber sounds, because you can get upgrades where you become
a hero, yeah.
Darth Vader or Han or Luke Skywalker, Leia, and you're like super powerful. Like you like push people and they just like go flying off the screen or whatever. It's awesome. Like it is fantastic. So I would check it out. I mean, the one downside is
I don't think it's that great. But...
Really?
Yeah, one, it's incomplete from what I played. I guess I need to play the retail version because I only played the beta. But from what I heard, it's
incomplete. It's called a beta.
No, I'm just saying. Like
that word means.
From what I heard, the game is for a $60 game. There's a lot of content that's missing. The blasters, there's like 20-something different blasters you can choose, but they're pretty much all the same thing, except this one zooms a little bit more. This one does a little bit more damage. This one's a pistol.
A laser's a laser, bro.
No, I know.
How focused are you going to get it?
It's not like a typical shooter where you have like a shotgun. You have a rocket launcher. I mean, there's rocket launcher pickups, but you don't have these very different kind of weapons. They all kind of
I'm surprised.
Do you get to do all the different ships? That's one of the things I think is cool about Star Wars. So many different...
Yeah.
So they have a like a dogfighting version of the game. Did you play the Battlefront 2 or the original?
I played Battlefront 1, I think.
Way back in the day.
So they had space battles in those games where like the bad guys, Imperials are on a Star Destroyer, the other guys are like a Carillion cruiser or whatever, and you fly out of here and you're fighting in space. They don't have any of that, which really sucks. But again, it's going to be DLC. They'll sell it.
Yeah, and I've heard, I think what they're going to end up doing, it'll be like a platform almost, Battlefront, and they'll add stuff to it over the years. It'll be something that is continuous.
Unfortunately, that's their model, and it's Star Wars, so people are going to buy it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like a $60 release to me, but I mean, it looks fantastic, even on console, but when I played the beta on PC as well, it looks so good, like photorealistic almost. And then the sounds, like you said, the sounds of the blasters, the sounds of the music, everything, that sounds great. I do like when you respawn, it does the wipe. Like on the movie, like a
Star Wipe or whatever they call it.
Yeah. So all that looks cool. I just wish it was more, but it'll be more.
I know that EA has, or I don't. Yeah, it's EA who got the license, and they're going to make a campaign version here probably within the next year. I think they just want it. Obviously,
they'll sell it to you though.
They're gonna make money.
No, I know. It's just release it with the game.
There's Star Wars jewelry at Jared. Like, come on.
No,
man.
I'm not talking.
Oh
about
my
that,
god!
though.
I saw a commercial for Star Wars makeup.
Oh yeah, my wife has.
Oh really?
Because I was like, mascara.
Cover girl, okay, Star Wars cover girl. I was like, they are wasting their advertising money at this point. I'm just throwing it down the drain.
No man,
but I mean, for like video games, like if everyone knows you're going to do it, just do it. Don't be a jerk and release a stupid $50 season pass so the game is $110.
I still think it's complete. I've played enough that I would say it's pretty cool. We'll do a let's play of it. We'll see if your opinion changes.
Yeah.
All right, so that's one game. The other game that I wanted to bring up, of course, is a board game. You guys both have played it. It's called Star Wars X-Wing.
Right?
Yeah, it's these guys up here in the front. It's a tactical miniatures game. I know. Sit back down. Sit back down.
This is what I do the whole time I play.
Yeah, and it drives me nuts because I'm supposed to keep...
I'm like, where'd I put it? Where was it? I don't remember. Somewhere over here.
No, the game's pretty cool. One player, you basically create like a fleet of ships, and they're these little painted miniatures, so you don't have to do any painting.
And they're fantastic. So detailed.
Yeah, they're super detailed. They're not terribly expensive. And one team is, of course, the Rebel Alliance, and one team is the Empire. And you get the ships, the TIE fighters and the X-Wings. And then, of course, you can, just like EA, you can buy lots of extra additional stuff like the Millennium Falcon and then one of the Star Destroyer type of ships. And what's cool is they have some extended universe ships and stuff like that. But let me tell you about the game. So the game is you have these ships and there's a couple different phases. The first phase is you kind of move your ship. You pilot it on this, I think it's a 3x3 square you set out on your kitchen table or whatever. And you pilot your ships, and then if you get into a certain range of the other player, you can roll dice to try to hit them. But there's special abilities that you can add to each of your ships, so you can kind of customize your attack fleet beforehand, which is really cool. But what's nice is it has this mechanic of if you're a really good, you wanna move last and shoot first, right? Because if I can move last, then I can kind of move out, I can literally move out of the way of the microphone, right? I can move out of the way of your targeting area, and then I can flank you, and then I can hit you where you can't hit me.
Right.
So each character has, like, Luke is an excellent pilot, so he has a very high piloting skill, so he gets to move last and shoot first, right? But at the beginning when you pick your fleet, you're limited by a certain amount of points that you can put in your fleet. So you can have a bunch of little tiny kind of minions, a bunch of TIE fighters, because you can add like 6 or 7 TIE fighters, or you can get a giant Millennium Falcon, but it'll take a lot of
piloted with Han versus just a normal.
Right. So
you have a cap. It's like you have a 500 point cap, and
something like that. Yeah.
Millennium Falcon takes 250, but a TIE fighter's like 50.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's cool. There's like different. It's just like you were talking about with Warcraft 2. You have different ways of playing the game. You can get this giant kind of army that's all little like tiny little minions, or you can get this one big bad and then kind of surround him with a couple little guys. So it's unique, and the theme of Star Wars actually plays through really well in this game. So TIE fighters, when they're close to each other in battle, they give each other benefits, just like TIE fighters would do. Because they're not very strong. They're very fast, but they're not very strong. The whole thing that they blow up easily and things like that. The X-Wings are a little slower, but they have a lot more power behind them.
Right.
So it feels like the movie, the theme of, and of course, I love playing these games because you constantly say all the lines from the movies, like, stay on target. I have you now. All those lines come through when you play the game. You both have
Great
played
shot,
it, right?
kid. Don't get caught.
Right, exactly. You guys have both played it. Did you enjoy it?
It's all right. I mean, I love the miniatures. They look awesome. The game itself, it's kind of slow. But I did beat you.
You did
the
beat
one
me.
time we
That
played.
makes everything better.
Made it better.
I only played it once, and like I had just finally gotten the movement down, like at the end of the game, and I made too many mistakes to win.
Yeah, one of the things about the game is you have a dial that has all the different maneuvers you can make. So you can go straight, you can kind of bank left, you can make a sharp left, and you do it secretly. So like I do mine and Gerald does his at the same time. We put them down face down, and then we flip them over at the same time. So you kind of have to play this game of like, where do I think you're going to go?
Yeah.
There's like some like spatial mapping you have to do in your head to be able to, because
Right.
you're not going to put it down when your guys on the other side of the table is watching what you're doing. So you're kind of like, okay, I think this is moving. And if you're not familiar with it, like you put yourself in horrible places.
Yeah, you'll like drive right off the map or whatever. Yeah,
it's horrible.
But it's an excellent game. It's relatively affordable. We'll talk about, actually, there's a little teaser. We might be giving some of these away. Oh, so definitely check out Star Wars X-Wing miniatures. They actually just came out with
Not the DOS, not the MS-DOS video game.
that one's a good one too. Check that out. But that's a little old. But these are excellent. Definitely check this out. It's very popular already. It's one of the most popular just because it's Star Wars. But
Of course.
that's definitely
It's
a
very
recommendation.
similar to Hero Clicks.
Yeah.
There's a couple other dynamics to it, but it's very similar to Hero Clicks.
What's cool? It's one of those games. I think it's easy to play, difficult to master, right? Because they have like huge tournaments and stuff. Because you could put like asteroids out on the field, and if you run into the asteroid, like your spatial thing, you like you lose some health or
Take
whatever.
damage, yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Do they
Excellent.
talk about in the canon what propels these things? Like, it's got to be some kind of like explosive material?
I don't know.
Because whenever they get shot,
it's
they
TIE Fighter. It's Twin Ion Engine. That's what TIE stands for.
Okay, so
Details,
when
guy.
you shoot ions, do they explode? Because that's what happens when these blow up. It's just like these huge explosions. Like it's a lot of like a huge gas tank that's getting shot somewhere.
Well, ion is
What-
electricity, so no. But I mean, that
Yeah.
would make the movie a lot less
they
exciting.
should
if it
just get
shot,
holes
broke
and they
apart
should
and
just
float
kind of
around.
fly away. Yeah,
No explosions. We can't have explosions in space, right? In the vacuum of space.
that's what I'm saying. It wouldn't really make
Yeah, so
sense.
they blew up the Death Star, just kind of broke apart. No explosions.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's
so
where the
boring.
practical effects kind of falls apart. It's
Yeah.
like this is impractical by just knowing what space is.
So negative.
Sorry.
The other thing we wanted to talk about, moving away from, because we talked about a couple games. You read the comics, right? The Star Wars comics, the new ones.
Yeah, well, I talked about that a lot.
Yeah, I didn't get to talk about a couple games.
Oh, okay. You want to talk about some games?
Just real quick. I don't have much to say about it because I played them when I was like 7 or 8. But we had a cool tabletop Sarlacc pit game.
Oh, I saw that picture.
Yeah, so it was awesome. There was actually like a cardboard cutout of a Sarlacc pit, and you were on like a ship, and Jabba was at the front with Boba Fett next to him.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
And then a bunch of these like little boar guys, and you just started at the edge, and you had to fight all the boar guys all the way to the front, and then fight Boba Fett, and then kill Jabba the Hutt without falling off into the Sarlacc pit.
Oh, that's cool.
There was no way I played by the rules as a kid. Zero chance I played by the rules. I think I just walked around and hit the boars off because I read the directions recently and I was like, those are intense. There's no way. I was 7 and like understanding what that meant at all.
That's awesome.
But
Didn't you
it
say
was a
when
lot
you
of
played
fun.
Risk, you were like, you didn't play with the cards, right?
Yeah, we just apparently made up our own rules
Hey,
for
man,
like all
everybody
kinds
does
of
that,
games.
right?
I don't know. And then there was an Ewok adventure game.
Nice.
Yes, my aunt had that game, so we'd go over there. Of course, she was always missing pieces, so I don't know the real rules on that one either. But I know that you like went up and you got like gliders, and you'd glide from one part of the forest to the other. It was
As
just
Ewoks?
a board game. You were all Ewoks,
Nice.
different color Ewoks. Oh, and that brings me to the Ewok movies. We didn't even talk about those. Did you guys
Are they
watch
technically
those?
part of the trilogy?
No,
They're not
but
canon.
they're-
So who cares?
Who cares?
I decide they're canon.
Okay.
I'm buying it, and I'm gonna make Ewok movies canon. I like those movies; they were fun.
Well, the Christmas special
Well,
was
the
also
first
really
one.
popular too. Well, it wasn't. I should
Well,
say.
it's popular for being terrible.
Yeah, it's
been
really
a long
bad.
time since I've seen it. I think it's on. You could probably find it on YouTube, but yeah, it was bad. It had all the stars, right?
Yeah, it had everybody in it. It felt like a,
I've never actually even heard of this. The Christmas.
Oh, yeah, there was a Christmas special Star
probably
Wars.
was.
Yeah, it's
allowed to watch
iconic for
it.
being terrible.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Having
Yeah,
like
it's
Mark
like
Hamill and everyone
Yeah.
in character.
I'll show it to you after the show. I'll put some clips of it in the I'll put like
Yeah,
the
it's
worst
bad.
clips, but it's pretty bad, but it's enjoyable to watch because it's like, snakes on a plane type of bad. It's like
Yeah.
you got to watch it because it's fun.
It is kind of fun thing about Star Wars because like there were little pieces throughout like my whole life where there was something I did that was like super Star Wars because like as a young kid the Sarlacc pit. Then I got a little bit older. We had like a Star Destroyer 3D puzzle, like those
like a
styrofoam
model, yeah.
puzzles
Nice, yeah,
that you
yeah.
put together, and it becomes like a model at the
Yeah.
end. And that was cool. I think I was like 11. Then when I was like 13 with Star Wars Monopoly, we had that, and we played the crap out of Star Wars Monopoly. Like that was all
Star
we
Wars Monopoly
played
too, yeah.
for a super long time. Then it was like 64 came out, and there's Shadows of the Empire game, just incredible Star Wars game. First Battle of Hoth I played, where
Yeah.
you could actually do the tie cable and wrap it around the
Yep, yep.
AT-AT's legs. I loved that game. I think that was like, it was like Mario 64, Wave Race, and then Shadows of the Empire. That was like my only 3 games when that N64 first came out. They might have been the only 3 games you could get. So it's just, it is truly iconic and been through since we were born in we were born in 85. You said it
86.
came out in 83. So
Yeah.
it literally has our entire life of the popularity of this trilogy. And then we got a little bit older, and then the newer ones came out.
That's what's so exciting about Episode 7. If it is as good as it looks, which I'm hoping it is, a whole new generation. Like a whole new generation will have this experience because we had the experience of seeing older movies and then getting to see newer movies, and now the prequels are unfortunately us being older. They're the older movies, right? And then the super older movies.
Right.
And then you have the new movie. It's really cool that keeps happening. I'm hoping, like you said, Disney's never going to stop making Star Wars movies.
No,
They're going to get up to like episode 40. It's going to be like
it's a
now.
money printer. Are you kidding me?
Luke's the great grandfather.
It's like now there's music or whatever that CD collection.
Oh
that they
yeah,
have to, like,
now 77.
yeah, they're just going to make episode 77. Actually, speaking of Shadows of the Empire, I'm hoping, they're making the in-between movies. Like they already talked about, they're making Rogue One and a Han Solo movie. I hope they actually just say, because Shadows of the Empire is an excellent story. Like I remember playing, I didn't own it in 64, but I had a friend that owned it and we played it. And I remember like, this is like an intricate like story.
Yeah, and you went after
Dash
Boba
Rendar
Fett.
and that-
Boba
what's
Fett.
the Prince's name, the bad guy, and that.
Well, it's Dash Rendar is the good guy.
Yeah.
Who's the bad guy?
I don't remember.
Prince something.
But anyways, I just remember there being an excellent story involved in that N64 game. So it wouldn't be that hard to create that character and put him into that universe. Now, I get that they don't want to really... Actually, I don't think they have a problem now. It seems like with the in-between movies, because they're canon, right?
Yep.
They don't have a problem with going in and kind of fiddling
They'll
with
eventually run out of characters, and they'll be like, "Who's that Dash guy?"
Yeah.
And they
Let's do
said
it.
like they may grab stuff from it's now called Legacy, but the extended universe they may grab stuff from there.
I'm hoping they grab from that because it's so good.
Yeah.
And he was a cool character. He was kind of like, he's like console a little bit. He's like the, you
His
know,
ship kind of looked like the Falcon.
yeah, it's like the 2400 YT 2400
Yeah, something
42. I don't know the name, but it was cool. It was like had like upside. You could shoot both ways. You could turn it upside down. It's so cool. As a kid, you're just like, you're upside down. Oh, it's so cool.
Dude, my games like Rogue Squadron 2, and Rogue Leader. Oh, all three of those games are so good. In fact, you can play all the space battles from the movies in any vehicle. On the bad side, you can be bad guys too. You can fly around TIE Fighter and all that kind of stuff. Oh.
They had the Naboo fighter in that one, didn't it?
Yeah, with codes and stuff. On the Rogue Leader, you can have the Naboo
that was
fighter.
Cool. Because that fighter was cool. That yellow fighter.
Yeah,
that was a sick looking.
But flying like the Falcon and using the guns and stuff. Oh.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about the games is, and I think the Battle of Hoth. If you get to, we'll play it with you, Jordan. The Battle of Hoth, you get to do the tow cable again. You get
that's
so
sweet.
it's so cool. And then this is the thing; they just keep redoing that same level, and it doesn't matter because
All you need
it's
to
so
do.
awesome.
It is so awesome.
All right, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up the show, the Star Wars episode? Well, I'm going to get to some housekeeping stuff, but what do you guys want to add? Anything else?
Let the Force be with you.
Nice.
Oh, can't wait for Force Awakens, man.
We already bought our tickets. We're going Saturday
8 a.m.
Yeah, wake up to go see Star Wars.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, we even got tickets to like a theater where they're assigned seats, so we don't even have to show up early.
Yeah, we
Which
should
is
be
good,
10 minutes before, we're right in the middle, in the back of the theater a little bit. We're perfect viewing. It's going to be...
And then just let people know, what we're going to end up doing is we're immediately going to leave there, and then we're going to film a podcast, but we're going to hold it. We're going to hold it because it's going to be spoiler. We'll wait maybe a week or so to put it out because we don't want to wait that long.
Yeah, we assume most of our fans who listen and view us are going to go see it.
You should.
The first or second weekend, so we'll release it probably that second weekend, so we'll talk about spoiler stuff. Not just hold on to us until you get to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll tell you at the beginning. Spoiler cast.
Oh, yeah, we'll put a bunch of spoilers up on the
if
thing.
You don't want to hear it.
All right. So the one thing I wanted to talk about with our contest, since we were doing our contest, I always want to call it a contest. Giveaway. You don't have to do anything. You just have to
You have to do something.
You have to do something.
It's
Okay.
a contest, and everybody that is going to do something isn't going to get it something.
Okay.
How
that's
are you?
true.
So it would be a contest.
Well, see, when I think of contest, I think like a battle, but it's not a battle.
Fight for the toys.
Anyways, here's the first thing that we're going to be giving away. Gerald is going to give one of his...
Yeah, so I have the first issue of the new Star Wars comic, but it's the first printing of it. It got it release day, so I have two of them, so I'm going to give one of those away.
He's going to give one of his away.
I
Jordan,
wouldn't do it.
first printing. I mean, it's maybe worth something someday. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. And it's going to be a combined... We're going to give a copy of Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game.
Ones we just talked about, yep.
Yeah, the core set, so you can take this and you can play, and then of course you can spend lots of more money on buying all the other expansions. But definitely this is a full copy of the game. You can play against your friends, you can play against and call them Rebel Scum. Excellent game. So we'll give one of these away as well as that, and then we'll have more prizes throughout the week.
Yeah, I'll think of something I can bring to the table. I haven't thought of anything yet.
And like I said, if you're out there and you want to help participate and be one of the people to give something away, you can certainly do that. Just get in touch with us. You can always email us at
sitdownstandard@gmail.com.
Jordan.
Sit down standard at Facebook.
No,
You said Facebook
Can't say
last
no.
time.
you got to change it up, man. I was hoping.
Hotmail.
Juno.com.
No, you can go on Facebook and find us. You can go on Instagram and find us at Sit Down Standard or on Twitter. But if you want to help give stuff away, just get in touch with us. We'll like I said, we'll give you a big props on the show, and then of course always doing a giveaway where people are giving stuff to Toys for Tots or Salvation Army at this time of the year is awesome. So we definitely want to encourage that. And in that vein, we want to give one more shout out to our sponsor, 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. Check out all their great stuff on 1000booksbeforekindergarten.org. Again, they have reading logs, and you can read all of the novelizations of Star Wars or something a little bit more similar, or easier, I should say, like Cat in the Hat or Green Eggs and Ham. And you can read the same book over and over. I don't know if we ever stress that enough.
Yes.
You can read the
It's
same
just
book.
the words. That's what's important, the words.
Yeah.
You almost have to, because if you have 1,000, you just have to hang out at the library every day.
Hey,
I don't know.
do that. Go to the library. Did you know you can rent games at a library?
No, I know you can rent
God,
movies.
they're trying to get anybody to walk in those doors, except homeless people.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you for viewing as well as listening. Bye.
See ya.
Later.